Thank you, everyone. We are back from our 5-minute break, and we'll now continue with our town board meeting agenda. Here are now a couple announcements.
All right, there are several Chamber of Commerce and Business Improvement District events scheduled for downtown Riverhead throughout the remainder of the summer, and we hope everyone will come out and participate in these fun family activities. Coming up this Saturday, we have the much adored and highly anticipated cardboard race. We are thrilled to be able to bring this event back this year. It was canceled last year, unfortunately. There's still time to build a boat and prepare and pre-register with the Chamber of Commerce on their website. Check-in is on Saturday at 9 a.m. with games and activities at 10 a.m. Races begin at 11 o'clock, and awards and closing announcements will be completed at 1 p.m. In addition, there are 2 remaining Alive on 25 events scheduled for the summer. The first is August 12th and August 19th from 5 o'clock to 9:30 p.m. All are encouraged to come and enjoy food, drinks, live music. And this year, for the next 2 events, there's going to be a kids zone and an outdoor movie. So that's really a good addition, a kids zone and an outdoor movie. And on August 14th, from 7 to 9 p.m., we have the Reflections Art in the Park series featuring live music, performances, and sculptures and artwork by area artists. We hope to see you there. We are in the process of setting up and providing vaccines. Once again, this is the 3rd round to our residents, farm workers, and the general public. My office has joined this effort with the Long Island Farm Bureau and Sister Market. We will be scheduling a round of vaccines on Thursday, August 12th, and Friday, August 13th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Riverhead Senior Center, located at 60 Shade Tree Lane in Aquabog. Anyone over 12 years of age and older may be vaccinated if they desire. Please pre-register if you can at at Riverhead Town's website, or call the town Riverhead Senior Center. If the phone number to our office is 631-727-3200, extension 653. And same number for the Senior Center, that's extension 290. And again, the hours are from 10 to 3 p.m. Those who pre-register online, they're going to receive a return phone call from us, and we're going to schedule a date and time. Any senior who requires any type of transportation, we'll call the senior center, and the transportation will be provided to you. As a reminder, and hopefully by today, there will be made a determination will be made. We are also working with the provider to allow walk-ins, where people just show up at the senior center without pre-registration or appointments. We will inform everyone of this new development, hopefully by the end of today, and afford people the option to either pre-register or show up without an appointment. I do not personally believe in mandating vaccinations. However, I ask that you please consider being vaccinated to decrease the chance of becoming critically ill. With the rise of COVID-19 Delta variant contaminating unvaccinated people, the town board has decided, after speaking to various members of the town board, we have decided to move forward with masks. They are to be used around town hall. Employees, when not at their workstations or socially distancing, will be required to wear masks. In addition, members of the emergency management team will be meeting on a needs basis to address the rise of COVID-19 Delta variant and any future protocols that we may need to implement. Lastly, here at Town Hall, we have decided to reinstate the use of Zoom for public meetings only. Public comments will be accepted only for the topic of the meeting, the public meeting. Regarding all other meetings, the public has the ability to call, they can write, they can email, or they can attend in person. The decision concerning Zoom is administrative, not a legal mandate. I have consulted with most members of the board, and most are in agreement to get back to normal as we know we were, yes. And people have 4 options to reach out to the public. We are also, please be mindful, we are also following the same protocols that Brookhaven and Hampton has.
Yes.
Did you want to add to the Zoom? Anyone?
I want to add in on a couple of things. I'll talk about the Zoom later, but first of all, I wanted to say that I am really glad that we're having vaccines more available, because as people are reading, there's a concern, in Calverton and Riverhead, we had low vaccination numbers. Calverton, at last time I looked, was 51%. So I'm very glad that we are moving forward with that. That's important. And I also wanted to chime in and say that I'm very excited about the races on Saturday. And I know, unfortunately, that because of your injury, you can't race, so I'm ready, willing, and would like to step up and defend our title, Riverhead against Southampton, and I'm all set to race in the elected official race on Saturday.
Okay, so I'm very confused. That's the supervisor's race, and you haven't spoken to me about it.
No, I did talk about it with you one day.
No,
and
ma'am, okay,
Well, I'm
regardless,
bringing-
we're not going to get into this. This is the supervisor's race. And I think if I actually have to, doctor's appointment, I fractured I have a spiral breakage on my leg, and I also have a partial torn ligament on my knee, so I don't know if I'm going to get clearance on Friday. But I saw the boat, I'm ready, I want to get in there, I intend to do it, and I hope I have clearance. And if I don't do it, Rothwell, I'm going to choose our new councilman to fill in for me. Would you do that, please?
I will do that, but first I want to see you attempt to paddle like the wind.
Okay, so
And win the
we're
trophy.
ready, Jay. Thank
So-
you very
Well,
much.
But
I
yes.
hope that you're able to race. I think that's good news as the
Yes.
supervisor, and if you're not able to, just know that I am ready and willing
Okay.
to defend our title.
Okay, and we will. We're going to bring it back. We're going to keep it, actually. Because I think it was a draw the last time, right?
I'm not sure the final results, because nothing was last year because of COVID, so it was 2 years ago.
No, 2 years ago, yeah, the
Yeah,
last
yeah,
race.
yeah.
Yeah,
But we intend to bring it right here on display.
and we got to find that trophy. It's somewhere. Maybe Southampton has the trophy. I'll have to call Jay after the meeting and get the trophy back.
Yes,
And we're going to keep it.
yes.
Okay, great. So, everybody join us. Thank you. Moving forward, can I have a first and a second to go in, to approve the minutes for the regular town board meeting on July 1st, 2021,
I'll make that.
and July 7th, 2021, and also for the special town meeting of June 17th, 2021.
That's a lot of minutes, and I'll approve
It
it.
is.
Seconded?
Okay,
Devin was checking on that for us because I might have gotten that date.
okay,
So she's double checking.
okay, well, we can go on.
Prove the
Um,
correction
You
if
want me to go
necessary.
into correspondence first?
Yeah, can you go into the communications and
Sure,
please
absolutely.
report the figures? Thank you very much.
Under correspondence, we had 5 separate letters giving comments on the opposition to, in opposition to the proposed special permit application of Chernoff. And that was from James Gilmore, Sharon Francis and Walter King, William Van Helmen, Ellen Hoyle, and Donato and Eva Di Angelico. In addition to those letters, we had a letter from Albert and Bonnie Schmidt, and they were expressing opinions on the excessive noise at the Jamesport Manor Inn. Jim Dreeben sent a letter, and that was requesting that the town make repairs to a floating dock on the Potomac River. Let's see, let me lose my place. Mitchell Hagler sent a letter in support to continue Zoom participation as an alternative at town board meetings. Jenny Kate Schlegel sent a letter in opposition to the proposed legislation to ban pet store operations. I'm not even sure that was a proposed legislation, but at any rate.
It's not, I think it was just a work session,
Okay.
right? It's-
Yes.
It's just,
Work session
um,
item, okay.
It's a work in progress.
yep,
John McAuliffe sent 2 letters, one regarding the shared posts for social media publications on drag racing, and also comments and shared articles on COVID vaccinations and HIPAA. William von Helmond actually sent a letter with that, and he had 4 different topics he wanted to express his opinions on. Expressing his opinions on the Zoom participation as an alternative at the town board meetings. Also, he's opposed to demolishing strip buildings in our downtown area. Also, opposition to the sale of the Epcal property and suggestions on alternative uses for that property. And I think I got them all. And then
Okay, perfect, thank you, Diane. And we're gonna move forward. We don't have a public hearing, any public hearing scheduled for today, so we're gonna move right into public comments, right before the resolutions are gonna be read. And do we have anyone who wishes to comment on, specifically on the resolutions before us today? Oh, Juan, how are you?
I'm well, yourself, Supervisor, how are you today?
Good.
I'm Juan Michelli Martinez, downtown Riverhead resident. Greetings, I am here on behalf of everyone who would like to comment but are unable to, because they could not be here in person. Geographically, we are a very large town, and distance is just one of the many reasons that we could keep people from attending town board meetings and participating in our local government. I've heard the supervisor reference the new normal post-COVID, and I cannot understand how excluding Zoom from the new normal is the most sensible choice, especially now with the Delta variant. Our residents may be or feel safer at home rather than physically in town hall. I've heard you, Madam Supervisor, on WRIV mention that Zoom is very, very expensive. Is that referring to the cost of the IT department to run Zoom? Could we have a cost analysis of operating Zoom? Perhaps the board should discuss ways to more efficiently implement Zoom in the new normal. I think we've all learned about Zoom over this past year and a half. It's a very user-friendly application requiring limited skills. Perhaps there are more cost-effective ways to implement this critical means of communication. As disappointed as we are with the choice to end Zoom access, it's even more so that there was no public discussion about it. And there was no discussion among the town board members, which we know because the supervisor stated that it was her decision alone. That's also disturbing to hear. Isn't the purpose of having a town board so that the matters are decided by 5 elected officials rather than a single person making unilateral decisions? Again, on behalf of Riverhead residents who would like to be involved in shaping the policies and decisions of this town board, I request the full town board move to continue Zoom access. Or if you are not prepared to do that right now, I am requesting that the 5 members of our town board either agree to call for a public hearing or set a time frame for comments and then make the final decision based on community feedback. I'd also like to mention 2 other topics of concern, and they are the Riverhead Water District and the growing concern about being able to adequately supply current residents and potential future residents. The availability of clean, drinkable water needs to be an issue that the town board must face with careful consideration. Furthermore, I'd like to highlight the position to be appointed by the ZBA and the importance of a full and thorough search for candidates. It is important that the town publicly announce and search for qualified applicants, especially from the grossly underrepresented parts of the community, such as women, African Americans, and Latinos, in an effort to best represent people in our community. I respectfully thank you for your time.
All right, and that is Juan, candidate for council member, and I thank you, and I know you're a resident just as I am, and I appreciate that. And concerning Zoom, there is no public hearing. This is not a legislative matter. It is an administrative matter, and I have consulted with at least 4 board members myself, and they have agreed. I've consulted with Councilman Rothwell. I consulted with Rothwell, Bayrod, Tim, and I know you have.
No, absolutely, yeah. I spoke to Tim and Frank. We all kind of mutually agreed, along with the supervisor, and support you in endeavor of just returning things back to normal, especially giving our IT department to get back to the upgrades that are necessary to upgrade our overall computer system in the town. And so that has been put on hold for the majority, of the past year because of the needed time for Zoom. And so we're anxious to get our upgrades done, and we need our IT department back.
I'm very fond of Juan. He's a good friend. I've known him for a long time, but as a matter of format, neither one of those are resolutions to be spoken about, and this is open to the public comments for resolutions only. So if everybody else could just hold it until after the resolutions are done, unless it pertains to resolutions. Thank you.
Yes, and that should be the protocol concerning, your party's front with their platform. And concerning Zoom, we're going to end this here because, again, it's an administrative matter. I have consulted with the board. And Mr. Juan, you're a member of the community as I am. Give me a call. My office is always open before you come here and claim that there is no discussion with the board. I spoke personally to
Yes.
the council members, and I also emailed Captain Kent twice yesterday asking for a response and a discussion and to come and see me. That didn't happen. I called earlier this morning and she wanted to address it in the open. But this is, I do have to be able to make administrative decisions. That is part of the operations of town. And we're going to move forward because you know what? That doesn't belong on this topic. We are here
we're doing-
for resolutions and comments. So at the end, if anyone wants to make a comment, please come forward on anything. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, actually.
Good afternoon.
How
My
are
name
you?
is Robert Skinner. I live in Jamesport.
Okay,
And line item 17, Resolution 525. I read the long form on this because I just was curious as to how these things work. And there was a line in there that basically said that in essence, that the applicant would pay the owner, which is the town of Riverhead, had agreed to pay them, and then it was blank. And I was just curious, does the town make money on this type of a transaction on a regular basis? How much would be made? And it just doesn't make sense to me that somebody could come in, use a town facility, and and Riverhead not make any money on this, even if it's only for the 4 parking spaces that somebody from Jersey would come in and have to pay for the course of the day.
okay, thank you.
So I just wanted to address that. I did speak with our town attorney about this because I did have concerns that they were using 4 parking spots on a weekend. And we have talked a lot about how parking should really be for the locals and people with the parking, with beach passes. And Mr. Kosakevich did speak with them again and fine tune it so that they are only there, I believe, until noon. And they are going to be using the overflow parking lot at Wading River as opposed to using the main parking lot.
Okay.
And I believe Mr. Kosakevich told me that the town receives $250.
That was the sum. Well,
Okay.
And it's temporary and it's only 4
let me say
hours.
this, I will gladly give up dealing with filming companies.
Yeah.
Believe me. So if somebody wants to take it over, just give me a call, talk to the town board, and become the film coordinator.
Did you want to
Because
do
I
that,
would-
Mr. Skinner?
I would gladly
No,
give it
No,
up.
you don't want me with outside business.
Oh, you know?
Because there's other things I could do, but I mean, this
Okay.
is something, we've talked about this. Other municipalities have filming ordinances, they have a person who handles film permits. For example, Huntington charges a full day, they charge $500 for a full day of a filming permit, half a day, $250. Other municipalities have codes that say the police department, if they're needed to be on hand, will also be paid or compensated. I've been the one who gets all the inquiries. I'm not sure
Okay.
how that happened, but
I'm
lucky
just,
me.
I do believe that we are giving them one spot in the main parking lot just because they need to keep their computer
That's
equipment and so forth close, so.
It
Yeah,
was a 12, it
One
was
spot.
eight,
Actually,
it happened this
it's been
past
worked
weekend.
out.
It already occurred.
Right.
So it's a ratified. We were notified after our last town board meeting that they were interested. This typically happens a lot of times with commercials and filming where they need to pull the trigger quickly, and it doesn't really work well with the town board schedule when the town board meets twice a month. So,
Okay.
No, like I said, when I saw that blank, I was
Yeah.
like, I wonder, so.
Yeah.
Kind of like the old Arsenio Hall, things that make you go, So.
no problem.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
And as per the discussion that I had with our town attorney, he was saying that we do get quite often, we do get people that come and ask, we may want to consider doing something about it. And Bob was telling me that it's usually at the last minute too, so
A lot of times.
something
Okay.
that we need to look into. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Great, okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Hi, how are you? Are you here for your resolution?
I'm here
We're
for
go-
2 resolutions.
Okay, great.
The first one is 2021-511
Okay,
for the application for 255 for a waiver, because we are not-for-profit, and we,
yes, we're going to add that into the resolution today.
okay,
We've been
thank
prompted,
you.
so that's been taken care
Oh,
of.
what, I didn't say my name? I'm sorry.
Correct. Your name and your.
Gwen Mack.
have-
Everybody
That
knows
was-
Gwen.
Yeah, we know.
That one was for our future generation. The next one is 523 in reference to the funding of the CBDG.
Okay,
I had given a letter to Dawn to give to the supervisor and the town board members in reference to this. I would like to know, have you decided who will be getting the money?
That's, we have to get the CDA director, she's the one that has all the paperwork, and I don't know all the people who submitted for it. We haven't been briefed on it. I think we can, I would suggest when you would speak to her, Dawn.
But you have it as a resolution. Shouldn't the resolution include who's getting the money and how much?
Well,
It does.
It does.
It does.
It
It
does
has it on it.
specify.
Oh, well, I don't
It
have
says
it.
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
going,
there's 5 groups that are being given
Senior
funds.
Center, Long Island Aquarium, East End Arts, Church of the Harvest, and Stop the Violence.
Okay, thank you for
Those are the
considering me.
groups.
Now, can I ask you another question?
Yeah.
How much will we each be getting? Is it gonna be evenly divided?
It's usually, from what I understand, it's about 8,000, correct?
I don't know, the total amount is 75,000, right?
Yeah.
And so it's gonna be
So it's
divided
gonna
up.
be
I
divided
don't-
equally?
Doesn't say.
We can get Dawn here and ask her, because she has it.
Okay,
Can
because
we
I would
try
like
get
to
Dawn?
know.
Sure.
And thank you
Wait
for
a minute,
bringing
wait a
that up,
minute.
actually, I was.
Actually, it does. It does
didn't see
indicate.
Now, can I read it off to you? It's,
Yes.
Town of Riverhead, the seniors 40,000, Long Island Aquarium 20,000, East End Arts 5,000, Church of the Harvest 5,000, Stop the Violence 5,000.
Okay, now I have a problem. My question is, why is the aquarium getting more money than the pantry? Because I have not closed but 2 weeks during the COVID vaccine epidemic, and I would like to know why isn't it divided equally, or I should get as much as the aquarium?
Okay, that was decided by the CDA, and I would highly recommend you speak to the director, Dawn Thomas.
Well, I
and-
have talked to her in reference, I did give her a letter
Okay.
stating this, so I would like to know. I'll wait for Dawn to find out how.
She's not here, but by all means, you can,
Well, you're gonna do the resolution today. Does the resolution include getting the money? Are you gonna vote on how much everybody gets?
it was already determined.
Yes. it's
But I
in
have a
the-
problem with that. That's my problem.
Okay.
How can you okay a resolution when the food pantry does not agree on the amount? I don't understand why someone should get more than another one.
Okay.
How do you say one entity is more important than another one? I'm feeding the poor,
Sure.
and you're only gonna give me $5,000? That does not make sense, I'm sorry. So, can you table this resolution, since you have the amount that you're gonna give everybody?
Anyone want to table it?
If nobody else does, I do.
I'm
Yeah.
willing,
You're too funny.
I'm willing to table it for further discussion if we want to fine tune it. We didn't actually have a discussion as a board as to how much money each group was getting, and I think that should have been a board decision, and I also believe that should have been a public discussion.
Well,
To
Dawn
your
had
point-
told me that the board was making decision on who gets the money, so I thought that the board was gonna decide on how much everybody was gonna get.
And I think this should be a board decision.
Because I have a problem with $5,000. I have a big problem.
Well, I saw the resolution, and I assume that the board had worked on it. Other people
I didn't
thought it
see
was
the
okay.
amounts, I didn't see the amounts when I looked at it.
It's in
Was
the
that
fiscal impact
amended?
statement. It's in the fiscal impact
I know,
statement.
but was it amended, or I didn't see it there? I guess it's kind of tiny there.
Well, now my question is, are we gonna table it until I talk to Dawn so we can get more information?
Prepared on the 27th.
We need Catherine, you're gonna,
I'm willing to,
You're
I'll
moving
call
to
to
table?
table when we get there.
Yeah.
We will do it when we get to the resolution.
and then somebody has to, Bob, somebody has to second it?
I second it.
In order to table it, it has to be moved and seconded, correct?
It has to be moved, and it has to be seconded, so.
Well, can I depend on somebody to second it to be tabled? Or are we gonna just let it go through?
we'll
That's
just-
my question.
You just heard Councilwoman Kent say that she
She's
was
gonna make the motion, right? But I
Okay,
need
you,
somebody.
you can't take a vote, okay? We can't take a vote on a resolution.
No, but
And have the public determine what our vote is gonna be.
No, I'm
That's
not saying
appropriate.
that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, can somebody table it so it'll be more discussion on this?
Well, we'll see when it gets to that point, okay? We
When,
need to,
I can assure you, as an Island Harvest board member, and you as an agency member of Island Harvest, that if it gets moved to table, I will
there
second.
you go.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
And have a blessed day.
All right, you too.
Thank you.
Take care, bye-bye. Okay, Mr. Foley.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mike
Hold
Foley
on
from
1 minute.
Reeves
Hold
Park.
on a second. I'm
Sure.
sorry.
Sure.
When are we gonna do the minutes after this?
What minutes?
The minutes, we never got through the minutes.
Never
to
adopted them.
approve the minutes.
Oh, you
Do
know
wanna
what?
do that
Read
after
it.
everyone speaks?
Yeah. Okay, why don't we do that? Bring
Is
it
that
up.
okay?
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right, I'll bring it up.
You'll bring it up again. Okay,
I'm
sorry,
sorry.
we're just trying
All
to
right.
adjust the agenda as we go.
Good afternoon, Mike Foley, Reeves Park. I'm speaking on Resolution 515, Plant 5 Wellhead PFAS Removal Project. Frank, you put it up for adoption, so I just have a few questions on it. The way it read was that it was initially called for an upgrade about 18 months ago. And clearly, because of COVID and other reasons, it's just now being brought up to have the money, the $79,000 for an engineering study. I guess my question is, seeing that there's been an 18-month lapse from the time it was determined the need for an upgrade, will the water company take a measurement on PFAS as it stands today, as opposed to when it stood when it was called for an upgrade in January, just to see exactly if we've had any spread or any more density in the PFAS pollution? And I don't know, Frank, if you're familiar with what the engineering company is going to do for this upgrade. If you are, I'd like to hear it, just to find out what's going on there.
Thank you for your comments.
Okay.
Well, wait a second.
This is-
I'm just asking a question,
That-
Frank. If you don't know, that's fine.
I would defer to the superintendent of the water district.
Is Frank here? Is
Yeah, you
Frank
can
Mancini
write, you
here?
can call him, you can email, would you make the statement?
Yeah,
Is
so
Frank Mancini here?
we're going to give folks 5 minutes to make their comments, and we're not going to engage in the back and forth unless the town board chooses to do that. Okay, so we have the 5-minute clock running, sir, so if you
Yes,
could make all your
well, Mike,
comments, ask all your questions, and then the board will respond at the end.
Point of order. I've been doing this for 20 years. She's the fourth supervisor here in 20 years. None of this nonsense has been put before us. None of it. If you think you're going to silence the people by
Mr.
giving
Foley,
me 5 minutes,
Mr. Foley,
you're out of your mind.
Mr. Foley,
We're not looking
lower
to
your
silence
voice.
anybody, just
You're
to
out of
be
your
clear.
mind.
No,
We're
you
not
lower
looking to
your
silence
voice.
And Frank,
anybody.
I'll ask one more time.
Listen,
If you don't want
I'm-
to comment,
I'm
then...
deferring to the person who's an expert. He's a
Right.
geologist.
Okay, and certainly so,
Be
but
professional.
you spoke to Frank about this.
I am the liaison, so anything
Okay.
that is offered, I am part of the conversation.
But you don't know what the upgrade entails. I'd have to talk to Frank.
H2M is going to...
H2M. Very good. I know H2M's done a lot of stuff, including for CMA mines. So certainly they're competent. But Yvette, just so we understand each other, this stifling of the people from this podium will not stand. You ran on communication. You ran on transparency. You ran on being somebody that was going to allow people to go.
You make a comment on the
And-
actual resolution.
Right.
You don't bring your political agenda here.
I don't have a political
No,
agenda.
yes, you do.
Yvette.
You have a total political agenda.
What would you
and
call
you
it?
live.
What
We're
would you
not
call
going there. I'm telling you.
Well, you
you're
have
here-
gone there.
Well, you know what? I'm
You
telling you
can't
where you
say
are.
this person's a candidate
Supervisor.
for office and this
Yes.
person isn't.
Do we
You
need to
can't
take
say
a
that.
quick break?
You make it
Yes,
political.
we're gonna take a break at the moment so
You
we
got
can
it.
address meetings. We're gonna address meetings in a cordial manner, relaxed, professional. Please cut the cameras.
Yvette, I am relaxed and I am professional.